Well, if everybody's ready, I want to thank you for coming. With the ongoing health crisis consuming our attention, it can be overwhelming to try and find the resources available to us or where to go to find out about them. And with that in mind, we come together today to highlight two online resources that provide help for people and small businesses in Indianapolis. First, I want to direct residents toward our city's COVID-19 Community Resources webpage, found at indy.gov. There you will find information on everything from food assistance for children to worker support to child care and much more. You will also find ways to donate to programs helping the most vulnerable in our city. Second, to our city's small business owners and community whose bottom lines are threatened by necessary closures, bans, and restrictions, I want to applaud the quick work done by the Indy Chamber and to reiterate the advice that you visit their rapid response hub at indychamber.com. Here, resources for sustaining the business side of this health crisis are updated regularly. And I know there's one update they will be making. Beginning today, the Indy Chamber's Business Ownership Initiative will be pivoting its focus toward emergency assistance for small businesses. Through free one-on-one business coaching and access to loan capital, BOI will help small business owners and entrepreneurs navigate the uncertainty this pandemic has caused. Now, to be clear, this effort alone is not nearly enough funding to fully address the emergency needs of our small business community. The business losses alone will be in the hundreds of millions, not the hundreds of thousands. But because of the effort of Governor Holcomb and his office, Indiana is well positioned to receive disaster loan assistance from the U.S. Small Business Administration. Their work means that we as a state and as a community could be approved for lines of credit to assist businesses in Indianapolis in the coming days. But that doesn't mean there isn't work to do. And my message to all of our suffering small businesses is simple. Use this time to prepare all documentation you'll need to quickly apply for this federal relief. At the site, response.indychamber.com. That's response.indychamber.com. You will find a presentation from the SBA that walks you through the application process. And I want to encourage all small business owners to go there today so that you can ready your documents. While there, you can connect with Indy Chamber business coaches who can virtually assist you in the application process. Meanwhile, philanthropies, financial institutions, and local government agencies, now is our time. We must do everything we can as a city to help our unique and diverse small business ecosystem. For today's welcome announcement, I want to thank the Indy Chamber, their partners, and their steadfast dedication to the businessmen and businesswomen of Indianapolis during this trying time. And in that spirit, I introduce Indy Chamber leadership, Michael Huber. Michael.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate the Mayor's leadership at this very uncertain time for our city and our region, uncertain time for our world. The Indy Chamber is made up of nearly 2,000 members from the Indianapolis region. We're also an economic development organization, as many of you know. Just about 85% of our members are small business, but we serve businesses, a much broader segment of business than that, not just our members. And Just in the last week, we've received word from so many businesses, especially in the retail sector, particularly restaurants, service businesses, both consumer and B2B services, about the impacts of this virus that we're all trying to figure out how to deal with in the last couple of weeks. The most important message that I can stress today and echo is our community's need to keep each other safe. As a business organization, we want to keep those business owners safe and their employees safe. So that's number one. You notice us keeping a comfortable 6-foot distance from each other this morning. It's absolutely essential. We're also advising everybody to heed the advice of healthcare experts and government directives. We're a business organization. We're not medical professionals. We're not public health professionals. And that being said, we consulted with the mayor and other leaders throughout the region over the weekend in anticipation of these requests from small businesses that have already been impacted, and we created the Indy Chamber Rapid Response Hub that the mayor referred to. You can visit the hub at response.indychamber.com, and that is not just a site, it is also a service. It is a site in the sense that a lot of the directives and tools and resources that exist for business are changing, in some cases hour to hour, and you can find the most current information at the Rapid Response Hub. But what we tried to do in making this unique and in making this of high value is the one-on-one coaching that's available. We anticipated early on that the need for advice and for coaching would go beyond just the capacity that we have as an organization. So we really appreciate the Indiana University Kelley School of Business for making faculty, students, and alumni available so that we can scale that effort up as we get more requests. And as the mayor said, one of the changes in the last 48 hours is we are making more and more resources available for business coaching, potential small business loan coaching, and resourcing. Our website, since its launch Monday at 2 p.m., has had just over 3,000 website visits. In terms of what we think of as unique, complex requests, we've gotten about 30. So many of the questions that we get from the website visits are fairly easy to answer, but we do have some more complex requests from small businesses in the time. And look, businesses are just asking questions like, can I stay open? Should I stay open? Where can my employees get assistance? I've got furloughed employees that I've told them at least for the next 2 weeks that we are having reduced hours or in some case shutting our doors. Where can they go? And I would, while we're a business organization, we're not a human services provider. As I said before, we're not public health professionals. We can quickly route business owners to the answers to those questions, put them in touch with resources very quickly. And then if they've got a question that just requires a short discussion, we've got experienced staff and experienced folks from the Kelley School of Business who can answer those questions. We as a community have resources to be of assistance, and we've got some micro loans available through different sources, some local, some federal, but only enough to last a while. We appreciate the mayor's leadership in making sure that Indianapolis is eligible for as much federal assistance that could come available. Again, we know business through the SBA, the Federal Small Business Administration, and in part because of the mayor's leadership and the leadership of other mayors and officials. I think of Mayor Scott Fadness and Fishers. We turned around a survey from the federal SBA that was issued through Governor Holcomb in the state of Indiana in less than 24 hours with enough demand data from Indiana businesses in terms of what we're facing and the challenges that we're facing related to this virus. So we believe we are doing everything that we can to be eligible for these different sources of federal funding as they come online. The news, though, is changing by the hour. We're following a lot of the same national media resources that you are as well, but we feel like we've got a coalition of organizations monitoring these sources of support, and we're going to try to put Indianapolis and the Indianapolis region in the best position possible to be competitive for those resources. Look, right now, it's like the mayor said, we just got to keep everybody safe. We got to keep the community safe and keep the business owners safe and try to prevent the spread of this virus. And then we'll be in a position to think about long-term recovery. The sooner that we can stop the spread of the virus here, the more we're going to be able to talk about what is a long-term recovery for business, what does a long-term recovery for small businesses impacted look like. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Mayor Hogsett, for your leadership. I'll stick around as you'd like me to.
Questions?
Mr. Mayor, do you fear a hollowing out of Indianapolis's business community or economy, that down the road we're either going to see a lot more shuttered storefronts or a lot more people whose jobs just aren't going to come back?
Well, I think that may very well be the reality. We don't know that yet, and that is why today's announcement is really kind of predicated on helping work with small business leaders to position them as best we can to keep their doors open, to keep their employees safe, to keep their employees employed, and to minimize what clearly may very well be an incredibly difficult period of loss. So today's announcement is designed to engage the small business community in ways that will help them protect themselves in the long run. You know, Michael made the observation that a lot of the calls that Indy Chamber are getting is, you know, do I stay open? You know, do we keep our doors open? Well, you know, the directives that this office has made for Marion County are clear. I mean, the only businesses that we want to see closed are our entertainment venues, our bars, our restaurants, our bowling alleys, our movie theaters. I mean, that's the prohibition. In terms of a small business owner who is not or not operating in any of those categories, my answer is whether you stay open or not is largely your decision to make in terms of the safety of your employees. But we want to make sure that as long as your employees remain safe, we want to do everything we can to keep you open.
Some people have called on the city to allocate its own funding to help support businesses or other uses. Is that something the city is in a position to do, and if so, is it something they're willing to do?
Well, we're certainly willing to do it. The first question you ask is the pivotal one, and that is, are we in a position to do it? We're trying to be as creative and explore every revenue stream, every avenue to encourage stability throughout the small business community and the economy of Indianapolis generally. But you know, at the local level, we are limited in resources. That's why so much of today's conversation has focused on helping small businesses in Indianapolis position themselves effectively and efficiently to receive what I hope will be federal support. You know, there's a lot of conversation taking place in Washington as we speak. Michael, I think, was correct in saying those conversations change not daily, but by the hour. So what kind of federal monies might be available are yet to be determined, but we want to make sure that we here in Indianapolis are as well positioned as we can to make whatever revenue streams are available to small business. You want to add?
Two quick things, just echoing the mayor's comments. You know, we were on the phone late last night with mayoral appointees. Mayor had ordered us to leave no stone unturned with respect to, you know, possibilities on public funding. As we stand here today, it's too early to know what additional sources may become available, but there's a group of people working on leaving no stone unturned. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the outpouring of generosity from Indianapolis's business sector, particularly in the last 72 hours. Just one that comes to mind is a software entrepreneur, tech entrepreneur, Jeb Banner, founder of Boardable, founder of Smallbox, creating a crowdsourcing mechanisms to get direct support to impacted service employees, and a number of other ideas, probably we don't have time to mention all of them, that have emerged just in the last few days. Now, those local efforts are very important because they get people engaged. Those local efforts are really important because the people who have a little bit and have a little bit of time, it gives them a way to get engaged. We're not kidding ourselves that those would be a substitute for significant federal resources that would help us and would help our small business sector. But if you look around at what people are doing to play offense to reach those in need, it is very inspiring, and it would be a failure if we didn't mention those folks and our appreciation this morning.
Mr. Mayor, is there anything you can do in the way of either executive orders or waiving fees, relaxing requirements, anything like that could do a little bit to, at least from the city side, juice the business community?
Yeah, I mean, we're as I said earlier, Russ, we are, Michael used the term, leaving no stone unturned. And those decisions, will be forthcoming as long as we have consensus with the council and other private sector leadership to help out in whatever way we can, whether it be the waiver of fees or other revenue sources that might be available. We're exploring every option. Is that fair?
Have you thought about the impact this could have on the city budget and how those conversations go around?
Yeah, it could be significant. Obviously, budget season is not all that far away. It'll be here. I mean, we typically begin the budget preparation, as early as late spring, early summer for presentation to the council by August. So it's a little bit premature for me to say what kind of effect it will have on budget negotiations and a budget consideration for operating year 2021, but I can't imagine that we will not be grappling with that.
Grappling with the drop in revenue?
Yeah, I mean, not only drop in revenue, but the allocation, the appropriate allocation of resources in ways that help the economy and help our community economically. So it's both the supply side and the demand side, and it's just a little bit too early to say with any definition how that's going to play itself out.
Have you started any conversations either with Dr. Kane or with Chief Taylor, not today, not tomorrow, but someday down the road, if we get a spike, that Indianapolis may have to follow the lead of other cities and announce basically a full-out quarantine?
And that's going to be our last question.
Paul, you wanna take that for us?
Thank you, sir. Paul Babcock, Director of the Office of Public Health and Safety. To Russ, to your question, we're in conversations with all of the public safety professionals in this community, addressing all the potential options available to us. At this moment, we have not gone to the extreme as San Francisco and or New York. And I think if you do some double checking, New York is actually backtracking on their statement. So right now, in conversations with Dr. Kane, Chief Taylor, we're continuing to just evaluate where we are situationally and working to ensure that all of our residents have access to the appropriate healthcare needs that they have available to them. So thank you.
Thank you all very much.